can you paint in Minecraft? The answer is yes. We let the worlds load in terrain, and we spawned in a mushroom biome. Beautiful swamp right next by us. But the main goal I was trying to do was to find a perfect landscape or something I wanted to paint. As we can see pretty soon, I'm out here flying, trying to find that perfect angle. The idea of this painting was to paint the frogs and the cow, but then soon I realized that painting animals has still life. Well, it can't really be still life. I believe still life is something that is not alive, right? But painting animals essentially as still is kind of hard. So then I wondered to myself, how did all those painters do it back in the day, right? And so we first started out with the grass, easy shape, basic blocking shape. As you soon later we'll figure out how to use this mode a bit more efficiently. But this is basically equivalent to taking your 5-year-old and giving it some crowns and praying to hope they don't draw on the wall. In this case, luckily for us, we have a canvas and I'm a grown-ass adult, so I won't be drawing on any walls. We'll paint some blue right here. Nice and easy, simple. The whole point of this is to ease and not stress ourselves out as we're taking some ashwagandha. You know, our cortisol levels will never be spiking anytime soon. You have a partner and they make you stressed out, fuck it, bro, or a girl, fuck it, break up with them, bro. Honestly, I'm saying bro for everyone. Non-binary, binary, I don't care what kind of gender you are. You're gonna be called my bro. Alright, bro. Here we are selecting after making the trees. I see the birch tree in the distance over here. The only birch tree has the full oaks, or whatever the dark oaks in the sun. I try to make the shading first, so you always want to start with darker colors. And then I tried to fix it with the white, and then it didn't work. I realized the tree was a bit too big. So what do? We soon cleaned it up. Nothing to worry about. This is our happy little mistake, as Bob Ross liked to say. Here we go. We take some of the white and we fill it in. We want to select some of the gray. Actually, in this case, we'll select some of the green to fill up the grass to make sure we have perfect grass. Then we take some of the gray to add the stripes of the birch tree. It's as simple as that. Ideally, you want to make some stripes, but I'm working limited space here. I'm adding some more detail, as it looks like, but I take the green. We want the green to start drawing highlights, or to define the grass at least for the bottom of the trees, to separate it from the sky, the trees, and the grass itself. Super simple, nothing hard and complicated. I don't know what I'm doing here at this point. It looks like I'm trying to clean up the area. Drawing the pond and the water. Very nice, super simple, clean, and efficient. Actually, it looks like I'm drawing some leaves. And since it's Minecraft, most of the leaves are going to be a square shape. What we're going to do is draw a couple of squares, block it out, and do the same thing for each tree. The whole mindset of this entire video of drawing in Minecraft, which is known to be a peaceful sandbox game at this point, is to relax. And my broke ass doesn't have any canvases and paints at the moment, so we're gonna have to make this do. Honestly, if there's anything else you guys want to see, while I'm still here having enough time, I'd say suggest in the comments below. Won't be a bad idea. I'm thinking about playing some of the Roblox games. Here we are. Adding some color differentiation. Me trying to use big words to seem like I'm smart, but I'm not. The yellows were supposed to be highlights for the leaves, but I'm not gonna lie. At this point, it looks like the glowberries. Now, my knowledge in Minecraft is actually very limited. The last thing I can remember, even though I play occasionally, I don't have the 2-week phase. I literally just play like one day out of 8 months. So, like what we do with this tree. Add leaves, branch out, do whatever you want. Very nice. So far, this is very simple. What I didn't realize was I was messing around with the borders over here. Till it clicked to me. Let me grab some blue and fill up the corners with some blue color. Very nice. And I don't know if you can see, but in the painting itself, the actual like back or the foreground behind the easel on the easel is actually getting filled up in the corners, which I thought was very cool. Honestly, this mod is pretty nice. I'm gonna speed up the rest and see how it goes. Now we're gonna be finishing. We're gonna add some finishing touches. But that would be a good idea to probably just add a couple clouds, add a frog here and there, since originally this was supposed to be an animal still life. The frogs honestly was one of the best things Minecraft added. And then the next thing, here comes the title. What I wanted to do was dance in with the frogs, but then I realized I ran out of space. Making the title that big won't fit. So we gotta take out the unnecessary words, which was with the and keep dancing frogs. Leave it our sandwich there, we back up, and we admire our work. It's now nighttime when it originally was day. Hello, little froggy. The world says hello. He says hi back to us too. In the next painting, we were in the night as we left off in the ocean. I fly out to a distance and I spot perfect islands over here. Perfect for the night scenery. So I place the easel down and I select the biggest canvas. This is where it starts getting a bit more spicy. I start learning over here that I can actually blend and use different size brushes. How crazy is that? Of course, as always, we want to start with our base, make the sky night, and then the ocean blue. Super easy. And then I was like, what is this? We figured out that there's blending modes, and this is where I get stoked. For the night sky, I didn't want to just make it completely solid black, but I wanted to make it some hues of blues and purples eventually, as you will see. Already nice, it's already looking like some clouds, and we wanted to add some reflective material for the water. Since, water isn't just completely one color, as everything is in life. Not everything is just black and white. We added several of kelp, see grass growing, blending in with some purple in the sky. Ideally, what originally I wanted to do with this is just paint the night sky. And then I felt like we justified to make this a bit more better than originally intended. So here we are, blending in the foreground with the background, painting the edges of the canvas to match the colors. And boom, that's when I saw it, the moon. We have our night sky, we have our ocean. Now we need to focus on the highlight. Which would that be? Yep, it's the moon. So we go back to our painting. Now adding what we just recently saw. How we're gonna do this? I don't know. But since luckily for us we're in Minecraft, we can actually make a square, as we'll see, to make a white square as our glowing moon. Eventually we're gonna add some details. just listen to the ASMR on the paint being applied to the canvas. It's so satisfying. And I find it funny how each painting I do in Minecraft, by the time I'm finished, the time changes. Luckily for me, I had decided to add some details. Since the moon isn't, like I said before previously, not everything is black and white. Here we are adding the moon craters and adding some highlights and shade into our moon. Honestly, this, out of all the other paintings I have done for this video, might be my favorite one, I won't lie. Like the Deep says, no cap on God, bro. No cap on God. Then we add the moon reflection. Since the moon does carry sunlight, moonlight, which is technically just sunlight, and then we'll add it so the reflection bounces onto the water. I want to add some ripple effects by making some parts of the water larger and some parts of the water smaller. And we have stars now. Ideally in real life, what I do is grab a brush and flick it down, but for here, I grab a brush size and just place random dots, and we have our stars. Now naming the painting, super simple. That's the whole idea of this video. So what I came up with, what did I come up with? Night and kelp. Why? Well, because it's the night and we have some motion kelp. We back up to a minor painting, and I won't lie, it looks better in the painting mode than it does out here. Maybe it's just because it's the daytime. Boom, boom. Not bad work, I won't lie, not bad work. Time to find our other ideal landscape. We fly into some islands, a beach area full of a bunch of trees and ocean water. I spotted a bunch of more trees off in the distance next to the mushroom, and then that's when I saw it. You'll see a piece of the cliff is floating. This is where this idea comes in mind. You know, back in the day, back when I was like, I don't know, and even in elementary, when I first got those Minecraft books, you know, the Minecraft books Mojang actually officially released, like the 4 different types, the redstone type, the building type, the survival type, all those books. I remember seeing my Mojang actually building one of the books a floating island. Boom. And that's the whole theme of this painting. Floating island. Now what we try to do here is essentially find a good angle, which we eventually do. For most of my paintings, I do tend to apply the rule of thirds, where at least in my head, I divide the canvases in quadrants, leaving 9 squares, or whatever size your canvas is, 9 squares on the canvas, and using the middle points of each divided line as our focal point. In this case, I don't think I did it here, and I just basically threw random colors at this point, hoping for the best. Since I'm limited on my colors, I'm trying to make the background the foreground and the sky. Luckily for us, we got some blending modes that we discovered since the last painting. And this is where our paintings start elevating, at least for a bit. We add the sky, we highlight it, make it a bit more whitish, so it's not like the same color blue as the ocean. And then we tend to blend out our sand. Right now our sand's a kind of a skin color, but we add some yellow to it. Some nice yellow. I tried to use some white, and then I realized it might not be some good idea. And it's sort of at this point we kind of see the vision of the sand. So what do? We try to add some more saturated colors to it. Make some orange, make some yellow. Just keep blending until you think it feels good. Don't worry about how long it takes. Just enjoy the process and be in the moment. So I added some moss, added some clouds, and then added shadows in the ocean. Like I said, the whole main idea and the theme of this video is to take it simple. Not everything needs to be hard, not everything needs to be stressful. Then we come with the name. we could focus on the main point, and it was simple. I already knew what I wanted to do, and it was to call this one the Floating Islands. I think the best part of using this mod, honestly, it allowed me to feel what it would be like to travel, at least the world, or this country, and paint things I would want to. Because realistically, in real life, you had to have money, and money is essentially everything that makes the world go around. Currently, in this stage, I have $0. So, it's not like I can go to Japan, or Korea, or Africa, or Brazil, or Chile, or Taiwan, the lady boys, you know? No. This allowed me to experience what it'd be like to travel around areas I would want to, and paint whatever I want. The next focal point is this treasure chest, and what I was thinking is money, right? Then I realized there is no point in me having money. I am a traveling wanderer, here to paint what I want. If I make money off of it, it's not gonna happen. But I do just want to create art. So what do? We place our easel down, we look at the chest, and we place a small canvas down. Today's main focus, at least for this painting, is this wooden chest. Super simple, super easy. And essentially what we do is place down our colors, which is purple brown, and we coat the entire canvas in the colors we want. We change the brush size to a smaller size to draw the iron knob, or at least the latch. I assume it's a latch. And then we add our colors, our highlights, and our shadows. We use the purple as a shadow, and a white as a highlight. We use the blending mode to make everything look seamless, nice. And we use some grays to add a border. Essentially what we do here is just draw what we see, but simplify. Super easy, super light, and nothing hard. Blending is honestly my favorite part. What we do is add some highlights, some lighter oranges from the poopy brown, and then we add some shading with the gray. After we realize what we can do with this mod, we try to use it, at least to my skill set at this point, to our full potential, like Mega Man. And this is where I heard a zombie. I tried to figure out where it came from, but resumed to my drawing as I realized I'm in peaceful mode, meaning that nothing can harm me and nothing can harm you, at least at this current moment. And that's why we found the fucker. He's right there, and I'm like, I hope he doesn't break my painting. If he does, I'm gonna crash out, bro. It's over. It's all over. We resume our painting. This right here is the Mona Lisa of Minecraft. We got our wooden chest, the handy dandy wooden chest. We can't not have this in our world, you know? So here I am adding some finishing touches, and we're gonna name the painting Chest. Sign. Super easy, super simple. Really, to find our next moment, I was definitely thinking about painting this burning tree, but I thought, no, it actually isn't the best idea to do this, just because it felt a bit ugly. So luckily for us, as we kept traveling in the air, we eventually found what we wanted to do. So we found the spot. Here it was, an ender portal. Boom. How much perfect can we get for our last painting of the video? And for this one, I'm thinking about, how about I try to leave no speed cuts, and I leave it how it is, 100% raw, how long it takes, just as an ending, and an easier way for me to edit, to not edit the entire thing. So I'll leave you off, signing off, and hopefully you enjoyed this video, and keep creating things, please. Even if you don't want to. If you feel like you have art block, Go out there and just try your best to put something on a piece of paper. A stick man, trees, anything you see. Go outside, touch some grass. I know there's some advice I'm saying I don't even do, like go outside and touch some grass. But honestly, it will help. Just keep creating. That's all I ask.